Hey folks, Jessica here. So, it's been a little while since I've done a video. Sorry. I have been busy at work. Not that that's anything new, I am usually busy at work. I don't know, there hasn't really been a specific reason. I guess just a little bit of burnout with the game. I've been playing for 4+ years now, and I just hit periods where it feels like there's a lull in the game, where there's not a lot of new stuff that's interesting that's coming out, and I just don't feel particularly inspired to do videos. But today I wanted to jump in and do a video on a topic I've wanted to cover for a long time, and that is damage cap. So, I was gonna say damage cap isn't well explained, but nothing is well explained in Granblue Fantasy, which is why I do these videos. Actually, I think it's just a general gacha game slash JRPG thing. Like, I feel like most of them are just layers of mechanics on top of mechanics on top of mechanics, and nothing's explained. So, it's maddening for a new player, I'm sure. So yes, damage cap. It's pretty much what it sounds like. It is a cap on how much damage you can do with any particular hit in Granblue on an enemy. So let's pull open the wiki real fast, because that explains it pretty well. So the cap is effectively around 440k. I say around, and then it's like 1.65 million for charge tax, and I say around because it's not a hard cap, it's a scaling soft cap. What do I mean by that? If you think of a game like Final Fantasy, it's been a while since I played Final Fantasy, so maybe it's not like the same anymore, but back in my day, I will say that, the cap for hitting someone in Final Fantasy was 9999. So essentially you'd hit something, and no matter how hard you hit it, you do 999,999 damage. And eventually you get the ability to limit break and lets you hit harder than the cap. But that's a hard cap. Best way to demonstrate a scaling soft cap is just to look at this table. Effectively, between 0 and 300k damage dealt, you'll get 0% reduction, so a 300k hit is 300k normal damage, final damage. As you do more damage, so 300,000 to 400,000, you have 20% damage reduction, so you do like 380k normal. Like when you get up to like 500, 600k, it's a 95% reduction. Beyond 600k, it's a 99% reduction. So you hit a point where effectively it is a hard cap, but it's gonna fluctuate just a little bit, because it's not really a hard cap. It's just such a huge reduction where even if you're hitting the thing for an astronomical amount of damage, the reduction is gonna be so high that it's very little practical gain. So that's how that works. And that also explains why characters kind of hit for a little bit more, a little bit less sometimes. So let's demonstrate this real fast. I've set up these two teams. These are not ideal grids by any stretch of the imagination. I just set them up like this to demonstrate the point, if you're wondering why they're like this. So this is a grid with essentially no cap up. Let's see. Yeah, just double checking, nothing here is cap up on it. If you're wondering what this is a prototype. It's from Season 1. There's Season 1, one of the Season 1 Granblue Fantasy anime DVDs. That's just dark, big boost to dark attack and then XP. It's actually a really nice weapon. Jita uses it in her special episode at the end of Season 1. So, because Jita is a turbo whale. Right. So, Gisla. I'm using Gislas here to demonstrate because it makes it exceedingly easy to consistently hit the damage cap. Because if you don't know by now, have you even been playing this game? No, I'm kidding. The way Gisla works is, it is big boost to dark attack, and then it's medium enmity on top of that. Enmity is you get more bonus to dark attack based on how low your HP is. Summer Zoe and Gisla are basically married. Summer Zoe sets your HP to 1, so you're getting maximum bonus from Gisla. This has been a thing for like going on 4 years now, I think, and it's why it was one of the reasons why Dark was so crazy back then, and it's still crazy now, because Summer Zoe is freaking Summer Zoe. So yes, this allows me to just hit Summer Zoe's conjunction, which sets everyone to 1. The Gisla's turbocharge my attack, and will essentially let me hit cap to demonstrate this. Note here on the summons, none of these summons have cap up, so that's why it's set up like that. Now, the other team. This one has quite a lot of cap up. Quillenbow has Culmination Nightfall. Culmination Nightfall is a general damage cap up, it's about 10%. Because the minions cap up. This is highly under grid, so it activates that. This is the Astral Weapon for Dark. It gives you essentially auto cap up if you triple. I'm going to use the Death Sum here to guarantee triple to make that go off. Catania repudiation. That's the word. All these words. Has skill cap up on it. I get essentially cap up from this Seraphic Weapon. This is Tanya's Dagger. It's charge cap up. I just try to cram as much cap up in here as I could. That's why this is set up like this. And then yeah, let's just jump in and demonstrate. Oh, I'll note one more thing. Different characters are going to hit from different amounts also because they have their own stats. Like for example, Black Knight here, base has 52k attack, whereas Summer's always only 49k. So naturally Zoe's not going to hit as hard as Black Knight because that balloon is fucking jacked. Girl lifts, what can I say? 6 has the Perpetuity Ring on him. No hetero. I have Perpetuity Ring on 6 because 6 hits really freaking hard, so why wouldn't you put a Perpetuity Ring on him? The cap up you get from it just makes a lot of sense. See, 5% cap up on 6. And also, I like 6. Like, 6 is my bro. Like, if someone messes with me, 6 will go F them up, and that is what I look for in a male friend. So, yes, 6 deserves his Perpetuity Ring. Also, Awakenings. I didn't check, actually, to see if any of the Awakenings affect this, but you know what? They probably don't, so we're fine. Let's jump in a trial battle with that. So, Lignoid. Oh, wait. Before I do this. Summons. Death gives me essentially bonus elemental damage, which essentially is cap up. Serial essentially is cap up. Fuckboy Prime here is supplemental damage, which we'll get to in a second, which essentially is damage beyond the cap. Nyarlathotep here, I think I pronounced that right. Well, so let me know down below how you pronounce that. You Lovecraft fans. It's a crest character, so I'll give bonus damage based on crest. It's not cap up, but it is bonus damage, so I'll just down here. Alright, let's jump in. Let's jump in. Lignoid. Light. Old Lignoid. Alright, this is the no cap up team. Okay, so I'm gonna hit Conjunction right away. And I'm gonna hit Dark Haze, which is essentially Miss, Miserable Miss. Miserable Miss is essentially Death Down, so it's just Death Down. I'm gonna hit Rage here, so, and we're gonna do this with both teams to get a consistent result. And let's see how hard everyone hits. On 500k on Vita, 470k on 6. Didn't see how hard Black Knight hit. But yeah, so right around 450 to 500k damage. Let's go to the other team. And remember, this is essentially no cap up. Like 6 hits a little bit harder because of the ring, but essentially no cap up. The only thing different I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to kill Summer Zoe, I know, to guarantee triple on everyone with death, so I can actually guarantee I'll activate the cap up from the Astral Weapon. So Conjunction, Dark Haze, Rage, and we're not paying attention to. This is the wrong team, Jessica. Hold on, sorry, Jessica. What are you doing? What are you doing? I should cut, but we don't cut around here. Okay, here's the right team. Sorry, forgive me. Okay, you're here for real now. Let's see if I can not mess this up this time. Dark Haze, Rage, and then we're gonna Death, which will kill Summer Zoe. This doesn't give any attack up, just gives guaranteed triple. Get out of here, Zoe. You've done your part. Okay, so we're paying attention to Jito's like right around 500k. 6 was like 470k. Let's see how much they hit for now. Jito's around, yeah. So Jito's around 600, 650k. 6 is 600k or so. So you can see considerably more damage, and that's not even the ideal setup. That's just the setup I chose to use. you can see now why cap up matters a lot, and you can get quite a significant amount of cap up. So let's talk about the different ways to beat the damage cap. Besides cap up, there's a few ways to do it. So the most basic one is a weapon that gives general cap up. So this applies to everything: charge attacks, regular attacks, autos, whatever. That's like things like the Quillen Bow. There are things like if you look at Skid's Dominion, this gives you general damage cap as well, but also gives you skill damage cap. So keep in mind, skill damage is different than regular damage in terms of cap. And I should also note that different cap ups have their own cap. This game, there is a cap up cap. So I believe it's, correct me if I'm wrong, it's been a while since I looked into it. I think you can only get 20% general damage cap up total. So Quillen Bow, for example, I think is 10%, and I want to say Scales is 10%, so that is 20% general damage cap up. And then on top of that, you can have things that give specific damage caps up, and those stack. I'm not going to get into it, because what stacks and what doesn't stack is very complicated. But know that you can have general cap up, which is everything, charge attack cap ups like the Tanya dagger here, charge attack damage cap. You have skill damage cap up, which is stuff like the staff, and then you can also have a single foe attack, so basically auto attack damage up. Do I have a? I think I have a 1 second. Yeah, my ultimate sword I think has single attack. Yeah, one foe damage cap up. So those are. There's also chain burst cap up. So there's general cap up, chain burst cap up, one foe attack cap up, charge attack cap up, and skill damage cap up. Those are different caps you can get up. So you can get common items a lot of people have that give cap up. Do I have one equipped? The Rise of Beast weapons with the proper seal on them gives cap up. That's one common source I turn to a lot. Different weapons, like if you go to Earth, Great Sword and Dahlias gives you cap up. So that's a cap up. They're pretty easy to understand how those work. Other ways to get damage, though, because there are many. Actually, I think I put a little list up so I don't forget any. Supplemental damage. We've talked about this briefly, but let me pull open freaking Belial real quick. I need to FOB him. I'll have the Sunstones to do it after this event. Okay, so supplemental damage cap up. Supplemental damage up. How this works is basically supplemental damage means whenever I hit somebody, they're gonna deal that much extra damage. So in the case of Belial at 0 stars, it's 15,000 damage extra. So if you hit someone for 100k damage, you would effectively hit them for 115k damage. That's how that works. Pretty simple. I think it's about 30k when you FOB them. So that's not that big a deal. It's only 30k, big peanuts, absolute peanuts. And if you charge attack for like 1.5 million, then you're gonna do like 1.53 million, which is not a big deal. However, if you are a character that deals multiple instances of damage on an attack, like Valentine's Grimnir, for example, every one of his attacks counts as 3 hits. The damage is divided between the 3 hits. So if he were to attack once, he would deal 3 instances of damage, and if, let's say, it was 600k damage, it would be 200k damage each hit, basically. So if he triple attacks, then 3 times 3, so 9 instances of damage, but they're reduced because they're split. However, they're still counted as individual instances of damage, and supplemental damage applies to each instance of damage. So a character like Valentine's Grimnir, if he were to triple, that's 9 attacks, so it'll be 9 times 150, 30k, 9 times 30k. Let's assume this is like this is fully uncapped Belial. So that's almost 300k extra damage, which is essentially a fourth, almost a fourth swing. So for characters like that, supplemental damage matters. For most characters, supplemental damage is a nice to have. So a regular character that triples is 3 instances of damage, so that's 90k up. That's not that much, but it is nice to have. On charge attack, supplemental damage is garbage, because charge attacks always count as one attack, one instance of damage. I know when you charge attack something, it looks like it ticks and ticks and ticks and ticks and ticks and ticks, like with Narmaya or something. It's like 50 billion hits. That's one instance of damage as far as the game is concerned. So supplemental damage will only apply once. The reason it's done like that is because you can change charge attack animations, and also I guess they didn't want it to be tethered into how over the top they can make the animation by having the number of hits dealt in animation be an actual gameplay effect. So that's why those attacks only count as one hit. Other things to talk about, sub-auras. As I mentioned before, amplify damage against light foes. All the Arcarum summons, the damage ones, give you essentially 10% cap up against the weak element. Things like Seraphic Weapons. These give you extra elemental damage, amplify damage against light foes. Again, this is essentially cap up. Serial sub-aura gives you cap up. This is why I was saying the other day, well, that's a few months ago, but it's what I was saying a few months ago, that sub-aura grids, some grids are very strict now. There's almost, for every element, there's almost an ideal set of 4 sub-auras you want to use, because they have, there's an ideal set of 4 summons you want to use as subs, because there's so many summons have sub-auras now. So that's another way you can get extra damage. Let's see, there's so many. Let's look at another one. The Astral Weapons all have this weird thing where boost to allies 1 foe attack damage cap on multi-attack. It's damage cap up, it's just very conditional, but that's still a damage cap up. All of like the Ultima weapons and the Dark Opus weapons, you can put different keys on them. I just showed you the wind one, but you can exchange which key is on your weapon in order to give a different cap up, which is important because like different elements want different cap ups, different teams want different cap ups. Dark likes skill cap up a lot. I have this wind sword with single target attack up. Because I have the Wind Dark Opus weapon as charge attack cap up. And essentially, like, you want to get a little bit of every cap up because a lot of them don't stack. So that's what I was talking about there. Like, the Ultima cap up and the Dark Opus cap up don't stack. So if I had an Ultima weapon with a single target cap up and a Dark Opus weapon single target cap up, they would override each other. They wouldn't stack. So that's why those have separate, and that's why it's nice that you can switch out the keys on different weapons. Last real simple thing, Echoes is a way to get cap up. So let me just jump back on the Lignoid. Okay, so let me pull open the wiki real quick and look up something, because I wanted to get the exact numbers on this. So yes, Echoes. So Warlock has a skill called Chaser. All allies gain bonus elemental damage effect. That's an Echo. That's just the nomenclature players use for it. So that means if you deal 100k damage, you'll deal an extra 20k damage because there's a 20% bonus with that. That does not count towards the capital. It's essentially a completely different instance of damage for all intents and purposes. So what that lets you do is, well, it's fairly obvious, but I can pop that, pop that, pop that. Now everyone's gonna have an echo on them. Ugh. Everyone's gonna have an echo on them. and that's going to deal essentially 20% extra damage. That's why Warlock's actually very strong still, even though it's a very old class. Characters will have specific skills that give them cap up. I think 6 is one, yeah, gives them bonus dark damage, which is echo, and then amplifies the dark damage cap up. Certain characters will have attacks that proc under certain conditions. That's effectively extra damage. When I talk about like beating the damage cap, I'm just talking about anything that's extra damage beyond what you can normally do with the cap in place. This is why Dark likes skill damage cap up, because Dark Knight will throw an auto, and so will Kalulu because their HP is below a certain threshold. You'll see in a second. But like, yeah, let's just hit this guy. There'll be an echo, so the echo will deal 20% extra damage. So essentially, by just hitting one button, I give my entire team 20% extra damage over the cap. That's why Echo is really strong. So let's do this. So you see extra instance of damage, and then watch those skills Black Knight and Kalulu throw after. 202 million. Kalulu didn't actually throw one because she wasn't actually hurt, but you get the point. So like those are ways of beating the damage cap. If you want to see like an extreme Echo example, like I did a video on Holiday and Armaya. She has like an insanely powerful Echo. So those are the various ways, and they'll probably add more ways of beating the damage cap. But let's bring it all back around. When you are experienced enough the game with enough progression that you can regularly hit your damage cap, which is not too hard to do with buffs, by the way, you want to start looking for things that give you the ability to go beyond, to go even further beyond, to beat the damage cap. So simple things are like Ultima Weapon, I forgot what, the Atma Weapon, the pre-Ultima Weapon, Dark Opus Weapon with their specific keys. Those are ways to get it. The Rise of Beast weapons, you can put a little cipher on them to give cap ups. There's so many. There's a ton of gacha weapons to give you cap up. Many ways to get cap up. Skills of Dominion, obviously, the Highlander grid. You don't need to worry about this until your grid is at the point where you consistently hit damage cap. And while it is easy to hit damage cap with skills, if you can only hit damage cap with every single one of your skills stacked, then like again, not that big a deal because you're not gonna have permanent uptime on your skills, so like you're still not quite hitting hard enough to really need all the damage cap up. But if you're at the point where you're consistently hitting damage cap up with just a few of your skills up, like most of the time you're hitting damage cap, then yes, you really want to start trying to find weapons that give you damage cap up. If you're nowhere near that point yet, if you're not hitting for cap up regularly at all, for damage cap regularly at all, then don't worry about it, because it will do nothing for you, because it is the ability to have increased damage potential. But if you're not reaching your existing damage potential, it's not that big a deal yet. Supplemental damage is another thing. Again, think about skills and weapons and summons and whatever that give you echo are another way to another thing to look at. There's tons of ways, but this conversation is just to give you like a brief high-level look at here's damage cap, here's how it works. These are considerations you want to look into to try and beat it. Anyways, if you enjoyed this, leave a like. I will try and do another video soon. I know I've been really inconsistent lately with them. Sorry. I'll do one when I'm inspired to do one. If you want to inspire me and do one, just leave a comment below. I don't know. If you give me like an idea I really want to cover, just probably do a video on it. Alright, catch everybody later. Hope you enjoyed this. Bye.